Okay, so what I thought I'd do is build a ClearOS 7.1 machine, set it up as a gateway for a couple of Windows machines, also set it up as a domain controller and a file server for those Windows machines, and see if we can apply some group policies and move our computers around a little bit in there. No idea how long this will take, but it shouldn't be too long. I've pre-built a Windows 10 Pro virtual machine here, and this is a 2012 R2 build as well, so they're just sitting there so we can play around with them. You notice that they've got a networking issue at the moment because they're not actually connected to anything in particular. They're just connected to the virtual box internal network. I've got a ClearOS test domain machine ready to go. It hasn't been installed, so I'm going to fire that up, and hopefully this will do its stuff. And you notice in terms of networking, it's got a bridged adapter that goes to my router, and it's got one that's connected to the internal network. Let's click into here. I'm going to install ClearOS 7.1. So this is the community edition, but if you were in a production environment you might want to go for the business version, which was previously called the professional version. So here we are, just checking the ISO and firing up from the ISO, and we should go into the installer screen in a second. So here we are. It's got a nice graphic user interface, so let's go straight through that. Okay, so date and time's okay, English UK, that's fine. Installation source, that's okay. Software selection, I think we're going to select a few things in there in a minute. Automatic partition selected. Let's have a look at the networking. We've got two network adapters. Let's turn them both on. So one of them will pick up a DHCP address from my router, and one of them won't because it's connected to that same internal network. And let's call it something. Let's call it gateway. I'll do. This network adapter here we're going to configure, and IPv4 settings, and we're going to set this manually. And what should we give? Let's just pick some sort of internal. Keep it simple. That'll do. Net mask will go for 255.255.255.0. That'll do. Oh hell, we'll come back to that one. Click on done there. Let's have, select that disk. Okay, that's all we need to do there. Oh, no disk selected. Automatically configure partitions. Yeah, no, that's okay. Right, thank you. It selected the disk. Okay, Software installation. Minimal installation, basic functionality, base, the basic installation of ClearOS. Let's have that. I don't know what that is. Okay. That'll do. Okay, let's get the install underway. Yeah, okay, we need a root password. I'll do. Okay, so it's installing. So once it's installed, we'll have a few marketplace apps to add and configure, and then we'll have a working gateway, hopefully, and a domain controller on some fictional domain that we'll make up. ClearOS doesn't take very long to install, so we just have to wait. Right, it does this bit. So the app that makes it into a domain controller is called Samba directory, and you can add that, you can create a domain controller, and then you can join Windows PCs to that domain controller, and if on a Windows PC you download the RSAT tool, you can manage group policy and Active Directory from that Windows PC. As far as I can see, it works fine. So there we are, performing post-installation setup tasks. Now we're at 6.5 minutes, or no, nearly 7 minutes already. How long does it take to set up a domain? So once got the basic setup done, the yellow little triangle from the Windows PC should disappear, and they should have some internet. Okay, we can reboot. I'll tell you what, that installed a hell of a lot quicker than the Windows machines did. Interesting, Server 2012 R2 beat Windows 8 by a considerable period of time. Then again, I suppose it doesn't need to install all the additional bits and pieces. Only installs the basic stuff. Okay, so what it's telling me is that that's actually the external IP address of this. So if I open up a local browser, I can browse to this. Should be able to anyways. :81. Yep, there we go. It's going to whinge because it doesn't have a valid SSL certificate. So go to root, and then password I choose. There we go. And I'm going to click on the next button to continue. We're going to be in gateway mode because we're going to give these two Windows machines some internet in a minute. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to click on next. Okay, so this is the one I was fiddling around with. We can set it here. Actually, I've picked on the wrong one, haven't I? Externally, yep, that's okay. I don't want DHCP, I want static. Right. Say 1. Okay, that's alright. I'll do. Okay, connected. Yeah, cool. Let's crack on. Okay, so this is the DNS server. So this is just my home router. That'll do. And we're going to check Community Edition. We get green at this point. And you need to set up a ClearOS account. New install gateway, environment, home. I think that's my username and password. It might not have the D in it though. Yay! Okay, there we go. So that's our ClearOS system registered. Let's click on next. Now it'll check for updates. Update all. Once this is done, we'll add a few apps. Okay. What should we call the domain? Let's call it fred.local. Will do. Let's click through this. We're actually not in Belfast, but Europe, London. Update times right. Okay, so we're going to add some let's select it by function. Next. Directory service. Come back to that in a minute. Firewall and networking. Yeah, we've got DHCP installed. Where else do we want? Firewalls there. A lot of stuff we can have. Gateway antivirus, intrusion detection system. We don't really need any of those for this system. Gateway antivirus. A proxy server, we're going to have that. This is going to be gateway. We need that. We don't need that. Back to PC. Pretty sure you don't get everything when you go through it this way, but this will get us. Okay, that'll do. I think I've just gone for the proxy server to start with. We'll do the directory stuff in a minute. So it makes it very easy to add additional features to your server. It's a bit like adding a role, I suppose, to or a feature to Windows Server. Okay, right, let's see what we've got. Right. We're going to have a. You can change the order of various things. I'll do. Right. and you can choose, I don't know, shutdown button, things like that, users and groups. Yeah, okay, we haven't done that. CPU usage, there you go, make it look pretty. So network, firewall setting, gateway, that's what we want. Content and filter web proxy server. Let's start that. And we've got transparent mode enabled, and we've got a cache. Fair enough. Okay. System. DHCP Server. Right, okay, we need to enable the DHCP server on this internal interface. That'll do. I'll just accept the default. Okay, it's not enabled on the external one. Okay, so that's added. And at this point, these things should, in theory, pull up a IP address. We haven't got any IP addresses being produced. Assuming I've got it set up right. What am I looking for? Network interface. Yay, there we go. Oh, that one's finally got there. Okay, so we've got internet access now via our gateway, and if we, whoops, DHCP server, we've now got a couple of IP addresses being issued by our DHCP server. Okay, so Edge, yay. I'm just going to download something on this. Yes, gets out of Edge. So I'm going to download the remote Windows Server Administration tool. I think this is 64-bit build. Okay, I'll leave that downloaded. We'll need that to manage Active Directory. I'll put it somewhere on the hard drive. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'll go to the marketplace and we're going to add a few more bits. What do we want is it called Samba directory? We do want flex share for network shares. Samba directory, there we go, that's what we want. I want to select that one as well. Okay. install selected apps, download and select. It does warn you that the Samba directory is beta, so hey, use it at your own risk. View that download, open folder, copy that, just call it files or something, put it in there. Okay, so we've got that on that. In fact, yeah, let's just install that now. Okay, so leave that installing. Update navigation menus. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go to server, and you'll see that we've got Samba directory now. Okay, at the moment we've got nothing here, and we're going to have the domain Fred. And realm, I'm going to put thread.local. Server name, call it gateway. Let's see what happens if we do that one. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling that this had to be in uppercase. Why I couldn't just change it to uppercase for you. That's fed. There we go. I'll do it initially. Right, so it's I suppose doing something similar to the old DC promo. Oh, that's still updating. Right, okay, so we have now Windows domain control. We need to do something else first. What we need to do is sometimes I forget how things are on here. Accounts, that's what we're going to do. Got domain guests and things like that, enterprise admins in here now. So I'm going to create a user, and I'll click add, and that's going to be me. And I'm going to be a domain administrator. Should give me all the oomph I need. Click on add. So I've created a domain admin for my domain. Okay. I won't be able to do much unless I have a domain admin account. But now I have a domain admin account. So now that we've got a domain, let's try and use it. And let's have a look at properties of this machine, and let's change the settings, and let's change it and call it server 2012. Join a domain. Let's join Fred.local. Moment of truth. Does it actually work? Oh, there you go. And remember, I made that domain admin account. That's not the password there. Did it actually work though? Welcome to the Fred.local domain. Yeah, alright. Okay, let's restart now. So the server 2012 is joined to domain. Okay, we'll restart in a minute. We'll join this one to the domain as well. Do you want to close all tabs? Close all tabs, yes. Let's change this. I'm going to call this win10 domain thread.local and my domain admin account I'll use. Welcome to domain thread.local. Yeah, you're very good. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Restart now. Okay, so input keyboard. The user, and I can sign into. Oh no, I've only got one user on my domain at the moment. 1, 2, 3. Was it that? No. There we go. So I'm now signing on as an Active Directory user. Okay, so I'm just going to configure something else while they're doing it. Server, file, flex share. So this is the file server bit. Organization, thread, unit, thread, land. I'm just making this up. Thread. State, province, region, Oxfordshire, country, United Kingdom. Yeah, okay, fine. Just fiddled around with security certificates. Now we can add a share. So let's go, and what are we going to call it? Thread files enabled. Threads files. Okay, let's create a group first of all. We need a group. All users, group of all users. Of course, you can create as many groups as you wanted to, and I'm going to put Roger in that group. Okay, let's go back to our server, file, flex share, add share name, thread files, status enable group, all users, third party access. We'll see. Thread files. Let's click on add. Do you want a recycle bin on it? No, not really. Do you want audit logs? Why not? Okay, so this is the server share. Thread files. So I can go on this server here now. And go gateway, thread files, Ah, yeah, enable permissions rewrite, blah blah. Yeah, didn't enable it. It's a bit better. Okay, you do these things, don't you? Gateway. Yeah, okay. Sure. Run my credentials. So I got the password wrong. Yeah, there we go. So now we've got a network share, and we can add folders. New folder. There you go. Okay, so let's just log into this one. 1, 2, 3. Alright, okay. This is Windows 10, so I've got to go through hi, how are you doing, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so anyways, we've got a domain controller and we've got a file server as well. And from that point on, you could map home directories to a place on this Windows file server and really do all the things that you would want to do in Active Directory, I guess. Let's just get RS Remote Server Administration tool working. Okay, so here we go. I'm logged in as my domain user on here, and just to demonstrate that that is actually working. So if I go to Fred files. Have we got Fred files? Yeah, there we go. New folder. New, I don't know, image. Yep. So that's working. So what I'm going to do is go to Control Panel and small icons, and I want admin tools now, and then our Active Directory users and computers. So that would be something I'd use quite a lot, so I'd want to maybe pin that to the taskbar, and group policy management as well, pin to the taskbar. So I can start up group policy management on this Windows 10 machine now. Bear in mind these virtual machines don't have a lot in the way of resources, they're not exactly fast. Here we go, and you'll see that we've got fred.local as a domain here. So let's just open up that domain there, and if we click open up computers, we've got 2 computers in there. So I could I've got it open twice, that probably doesn't help. Okay, so I can create a new, I don't know, actually, let's call it, let's put a new sub OU in there. let's call it, I don't know, and then we could do all the normal sorts of things. New organizational unit, servers, okay, and new organizational unit, let's have workstations, and then let's get those computers out of that base computer OU, and let's put that one into workstations. Yeah, fine, don't show that again, and then put this server one into there. Okay, and what else could I do? I could new organizational unit, and what am I going to have? My people. Okay, and let's have a look in users, because I should be in there. Oh yeah, there I am. It's got all the standard users that you get by default, and it's got me, and I'm going to put me in there. Okay, so we've made a very basic Active Directory structure. Just open up group policy. Group policy management is loading. So the point is you can make a Windows Active Directory domain without having to actually buy a Windows server. I've done it with an entirely free piece of software at the moment. Okay, so let's just apply a very simple group policy. Let's apply it to my people. Last thing about this, you've got all the group policies for latest version of Windows here, because we're using Windows 10. What we want to do is create a group policy in this domain and link it here. Yeah, I'll do. And let's call it thread files. Let's map a network drive, as we've now got one. Let's go to thread files. We'll edit this. And drive maps. That was me trying to remember where it was. New map drive. Location is thread. Oh no, it isn't. It's gateway thread files, and let's call it thread files. That's what we're going to call it. And oh, I don't know, it's a thread file, so it should be drive F. I'll do. Okay, so we've applied a group policy. Let's go back to this computer here and let's just sign out to demonstrate the principle. And there we go, thread files, 36 point. A little bit of lag to get that warning, but there we go. We got thread files as now mapped drive F applied by group policy on a non-Windows domain controller. Okay, that's 41 minutes of going from no Windows domain controller to having a Windows domain controller which is actually ClearOS, and having basic fiddle around with Active Directory and a basic application of a group policy and log on. Have a play, it's quite good fun and it's quite interesting to have a go with. Okay, I'll stop there.